Okay, Libra, I'm going to do your Equinox reading for the season. I'm just going to look at a beginning, middle, and end for you, and then at the end we're going to draw some anchor cards for you to look at. Okay. At the beginning of the season, you're going to be represented by the Nine of Wands crossed by the King of Pentacles. So this really looks like to me that you are really far through on a pursuit, something that you're working on, that you are standing by and really working through and looking to come to culmination. Being crossed by the King of Pentacles is really looking at, okay, what does this look like practically though? What are the practical implications of when this is finished? What am I creating for myself, and how do I see this as part of my overall stability and what I want? That's coming out of an Eight of Pentacles energy, so I think you really have seen fruit and seen things that you do really want to be part of your overall stability represented in this. But going from like the Eight to the King, I really think it focuses a little more on not just how everyone else sees it, but how you see it, how you see this project that you're bringing to a close, contributing to your personal stability and overall providing for yourself in the situation. That moves you into a Two of Swords situation. So there's something about this project and bringing it to a culmination that is asking you to really look at what might you be pretending like you don't know. And I say that in a way that there's information that you're sitting with that you are not moving on. You are choosing to let sit for now. And usually that Two of Swords to me is just about acknowledging that it's there. You know, they have their eyes covered in a way that suggests that there's something about their choosing to not look at a truth or at information that really points to it being like, oh, that's just too much to consider. I will avoid that by just not looking at it kind of situation. So I think this is really asking you to look at a truth that has been sitting that needs to be addressed. As we move to the middle of the season, you are represented by the Two of Wands crossed by the Queen of Pentacles. So something about this cycle that you move through is rounding the corner and is coming back. So something about this is cyclical for you in the sense that the next project you move into after the first one is going to bring you back into that same mindset of considering, but really how does this provide the practical situation that I desire, that I want to set up for myself. Coming out of the Hanged Man energy, I think it's showing that you do start to consider this truth that you might have been ignoring. But what the Hanged Man asks you to do is to look at it from a new perspective. Maybe, sitting on this concrete block is not really the angle that's going to give you the vantage point that you need to make a decision. Something about how you look at it needs to be considered from a new angle. That's going to lead you into the Five of Swords. So I really think there is going to be movement on this this truth that you're considering. But something about it is really feels, I guess, like inflammatory to you. And that might just be that it's like, oh, I feel like I'm asking for too much, or I feel like it's not okay for me to, you know, leave something different for someone else than for myself. There's something about not everyone being happy with the outcome of what you're saying that you're considering, and might be why you were holding off on it before. As we move into the end of the season, you are represented by the Moon, crossed by the Eight of Swords. So I think something about that, excuse me, that truth or that thing that needed to be said that you started to say really has got you tied up in knots about, I don't know how to move forward with this. And when you get to that point mentally, excuse me, you're feeling really hazy, like you can't see a way forward. With that Eight of Swords and the Moon combined, I really think you've tied yourself up in knots. That Eight, she's got the blindfold on again. It's really about not only not looking at all aspects of the situation, but really like actively some part of how you're approaching it, you're hindering yourself. This comes from an Ace of Swords energy as the background though. So something about this is a truth and this fresh perspective about it has really hit you hard, and you are really being confronted with an aspect of it that feels like lack of control to you. With the Moon, it might be something that's like scary. It might be something that is, because it is hazy and you can't really know some aspect of it, it may be, excuse me, causing some anxiety for you. I really think you're moving into the King of Swords energy hinges on this idea that you've got to move back into considering, like with this King and Queen of Pentacles, what does this mean for you individually? What aspects of this can you articulate as truth for yourself, to other people, even if you can't see all aspects of the situation? Which parts are truths for you that you can definitely communicate? Excuse me. Let's draw 3 more cards as teachers or anchors for you as you go through this season. Just to look back as you traverse through these different situations as advice. Okay, we got the High Priestess, the Six of Swords, and the Fool. Honoring your inner knowing as things move forward is really going to require you to step into a new way of approaching situations like this. But the High Priestess really asks you to listen to that small inner knowing, intuition level of listening to your gut. The Six of Swords is about understanding that as you try to control different parts of the mental game, things are moving forward. Excuse me. Regardless of, machinations and different types of trying to control things. And the Fool is asking us to really step forward with a fresh perspective, with a level of trust that really only comes from, excuse me, being able to let go of an old situation and step fully forward in something that is new for you and try something differently this season.